Alright, pale flower of darkness. To follow the Black Fang due south. Although the trail vanishes, one uses their tracking skills and pursuit continues. Path leads up to Burns Impassable Mountains. Peak, no season, snow covers all in a blanket. A bright blanket. In this land, a blinding reflection, an ancient castle appears. So in the end, you failed to defeat them, did you? I'd only introduce you to Lord Norgal out of respect for your rank. Was mistaken, though, to think a former royal soldier would be. Next time will be different, I swear it. I beg you, give me one more chance. One more chance, surely you jest. Without Lorgal's good word, I'll never fly again. Not as a royal wyvern knight, at least. Please, another chance. But you're quite skilled at begging, at least. The test. You have fallen from our graces, and nothing will change that. Just be grateful. You are an outsider, so you are spared the Fang's judgment. You stink of failure. Leave me to breathe in peace. That's smart. That Wyvern Rider, was that the same one we fought earlier? Proves they took this mountain path. Now, what have we here? What a complicated place. Little more than whispers, but I can hear human voice. Over there, let's take a look. Marcus, wait here with Minnie and everyone else. Be ready to escape at any time. I'm counting on you. Yes, sir, I will not fail. Really? You're giving me a mission? Really, truly, Mother? I am, and it's a very big job at that. It is for the King of Bern. The King? Such an important job for me? Sonia, I am against this. Giving such a dangerous job to this child. Father, you're right. It really is a job for your sons. However, we've seen none of them since their last report. Lloyd, Linus. Yeah, because the way the game splits, either you fight Lloyd or Linus first, and then it flip-flops later in the game. So neither one of them can appear at this moment. Well, they could program it, I guess, in such a way that the other son appears now, but it would make it difficult not to send them to do the dirty work that Sonia's asking them to do. So my daughter will do this, and I will have no complaints about it. Ah, Father, you may do as you please, but first business. Jafar, come. Jafar! Look, that man, he was at the Dragon's Gate. Nurgle's henchman, no question about it. Jafar, should you be up? Don't your wounds hurt? Must you be so discourteous? It's really quite irritating. You heard the king's request, did you not? Prince Zephadal, he wants him assassinated. What? The prince? The king wants to kill the prince? Why? He's his son, isn't he? Nino, be quiet. Ah, I'm sorry. Jafar, this mission is yours. You're taking Nino. You're not serious. Yes, I am serious. The girl is my daughter. She must prove herself as soon as possible. Don't do this. It's too much for her. As long as you're with her, there should be no problem. I broke no disagreement. We must have the king in our debt. Those are Lord Norgal's explicit orders. Nino, you understand the consequences if you fail, don't you? Yes. Then we're off to investigate the Princess Menace. I'll provide more details on the way there. Jimmy. Yes? Where is Brandon? He just left the room. He went outside with Jan. Wonder what he's about. I'll deal with it later. Listen, Jimmy. Hear me. You're in charge of the guard while I'm gone. Do not let anything happen to this item. Guard the guard, blah. I was top dog until that certain Jafar showed up. Jeremy. I know. So they seriously mean to assassinate the prince. I'm also going to point out, in Ellawood's mode, somehow I managed to get the other one of the Black Fang. So instead of running into Jeremy, I ran into the bishop. So this is perfect. So now I'm running into the opposite. They seriously mean to assassinate the prince. Aye, and on the order of the king, it would seem. Unbelievable. Emblem is essential to the prince's ceremony, right? Having the emblem becomes useless if the prince is dead. Must stop the assassination. The girl Nino. If we speak to her, she might understand. Carl looks like a dangerous man, but we have no other course of action. Here you are. How delicious. My blade shall feast well tonight, won't it? Oh. Now which one first? Wait, hold it. There's some nasty ones mixed in with the rest. Mustn't get one of them. Might ruin my sword's appetite. Don't mind, do you? If I do it this way. That's... Elwood, there's no reason to treat with a madman. We must find exit. You woman, you have beautiful skin. I shall slice into your lovely red ribbon... You into lovely red ribbons with this. Wouldn't the pieces be as soft and delicate as silk? You're quite mad. No good. Something's blocking our way. We can't get out. I can feel an evil power emanating from every foe here. If we do not defeat them all, the barrier will hold strong. That's Nurgle's doing. He knows how I love to slice for people. He let me do it as often as I want, which really is all the time. He's after something he calls quintessence. I care nothing for it, but as long as it keeps bringing me people to slash and cut. I am Jeremy, the finest assassin Black Fang has ever known. Now come, my blade hungers. Gone. Alright, he's still close. In this building somewhere. We've got to defeat him and destroy this barrier, otherwise we'll never leave. Chris, we'll have to find that man and escape this place. What are your orders? My orders are... What level's everybody at? That's my orders. Yeah, Pent and Louise, unfortunately, you're gonna have to stay on the sideline. I'm not using you on this playthrough. I'm running out of weapons now. No good. Alright. Well, let me do something. I'm gonna cut here briefly, and then when we come back, I'm going to have everything ready to go. So, see you next time. Let's start it up here. We're gonna deploy a Merlin-so. And, what else? Oh, good. That's what I like to see. I like to open up a door and immediately being enemies that make my life sad. Poison axe. Hand axe. Heal something with a key. I can do that, or I can just equip the sword and just be happy with that. Knowing that the warrior probably has some variation of a bow and arrow on him. Makes my flyers very sad. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back street? Yeah, don't care. Whether or not the dancer levels up is irrelevant to me. Other than, I hope that she gets more speed and luck, anything that revolves around health and resistance. Defense is nice as well. Resistance is nice. Stuff. So, depending on who you get in this level is dependent on how many doors that are opened up. I believe if you have all the doors open, or all but like 1 or 2 doors open, you get what's his face? Oh, why did I forget his name? Swordmaster Karel. There it is. And if you don't, you get Harkin, which I always seem to get Harkin in this level because that's just the nature of this level. Hooray, Rebecca! I don't care about hand axe. Does not matter to me. Generally, I like your level ups. Wow. Dorky, 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 dorky. Dorky? Dorky or dorky? Good question. Are you a Dorkius Maximus or are you a Dorky? Eh? Here's the plan. You're gonna obviously roll over this mission, I think, pretty easily. Like, I don't see how we don't, is what I'm trying to say. And we should be able to level up, let's see, all of our guys are classed up with the exception of Lynn, Hector, who can't class up, Legault to a lesser degree can't class up, but he's not quite at 20, but he will be 20 by the time we get there. I'm not going to use Pent or Louise. Oh, that hurts. That hurts really badly. We're not going to use Pent or Louise, so at least not this time around. We're not going to use them. We'll probably use them in the Hector's hard mode. Particularly if I decide to go with the make Hector's hard harder. Make Hector's hard again, I guess. Where I don't do Lynn's campaign. And I don't use any characters that I've previously used with the exception of the Lords. Elwood. Ooh, that hurts. I was gonna say, with the exception of like Elwood and maybe Lynn. I gotta figure out if I want to use Lynn or not at all. The only reason I would even consider not using them at all, or the only reason I'm considering using them or giving them an exception to the rule is because there are certain levels that they are mandatory and you cannot not have them on the stage. And because you will get a game over, you will automatically get a game over if one of the three of them die. It makes it very difficult to play a game where those characters cannot take care of themselves. So I'll have to figure that out. Also have to see who I all use. I mean, obviously, this Hector playthrough has been a little bit more on line with the characters I will normally use. Like, for instance, I use Kent, and I use Florina. Not that I always use Florina, I usually sort of flip a coin on whether or not I'm going to use her, because she's a bit of a pain to train. Obviously the Lords, I love Canis. Always seem to end up using him. Raven, that's another one. Always seem to use Raven. And everybody else I've sort of not used. When I did the Elwood's campaign, as I've said before, I used Lowen for the first time, never used it before. At ever. Like, not just in a not in like that playthrough, it was the first time I was using him, like ever. I've never used him before. I used Wraith, I've never used Wraith before. But I gotta kind of see who's left, as if I can make a viable team with the remainder. Obviously, I've got the last of the 3 Pegasus sisters I haven't used. So she'll fit in there. I'm pretty sure I didn't use Heath yet. He'll fit in nicely into the team. Obviously, I'm not really using any pre-promotes. So anyone that comes in pre-promoted is certainly on the table to use. And then because you get Athos at the end of the game, Athos is on the table as well. I mean, I can use Athos regardless because he's only available to me for 1 level. Who else? Matthew, I guess I'd have to use Matthew. I'd have Dorcas open to me. I would have like I said, all the pre-promotes that you see that would be available to me. Guy and Urk and did I use? I don't remember if I used Priscilla or not. I don't think I used Priscilla. Regardless, I'm gonna need a healer, so either Priscilla. Or Rebecca will have to be, or not Rebecca, why am I forgetting her name? She's literally 2 steps away from, Sarah. There it is. Took me a while to think of it. Sarah, I'll either have to use them at least temporarily. I can't see how you get through a Hector's Hard campaign without having some form of healer in your party. So I guess you could go heavy Vulnerary, but then you'd be spending all of your money on Vulneraries. Dorky. What else? Pen Louise would both be open. Those are pre-promotes. Those would be very useful if I don't have a better option. I think I used Will last time. Gonna eliminate the other snipers, unfortunately. I got a fair number of units I can use, I guess is what I should say. I shouldn't be too concerned about this. And then obviously, depending on which levels I land in, probably could get Wallace. Use Wallace if I need. And the general, that is. I'm not allowed to use Oswin. That's about it. That's about all I can think of. Probably should have saved Farina for Hector's Hard. Because you'll get it regardless as long as you have enough money. I'm not going to be able to use... I mean, Carl would be great to get. But you'd be getting him in this stage. And I don't know if, depending on how I play the game, he might not be possible for me to get him. Carla, you get her too late. Thing like that anyways. So, here's hopefully a quick story. The day I'm recording this is Sunday. Obviously I record these things in advance because I need time to record them, go over them, check them if I need to, cut stuff out, what have you, edit stuff up, and then I gotta upload it to the internet. Now, mind you, uploading to the internet won't take very long, but depending on how big the game is, i.e. if I'm playing Monster Hunter versus playing this game's not going to take nearly as long to load. But the day I'm recording this, I found out, or just read news that my Panthers, the football team that is, they had a 4-star cornerback that they recruited who had I guess, enrolled early to start his freshman year in the spring. And I guess he was involved in an accident and passed away. Which is sad, because regardless of him being a football player or a highly regarded football player, or playing for my Panthers or anything else, it's always sad to see a person's life cut off so early. I mean, the kid was 18, you know what I mean? And there was an accident, and I don't really know all the details, like, you know, what happened, how fast were they going, was he wearing a seatbelt, you know, but it's the typical stuff, you know, you're young, you've got a buddy, you or your buddy's driving, you know, again, don't know if you're driving too fast, not driving, you know, or whatever, but you swerve off the road, you hit a tree, you know, and in all likelihood, the guy's not wearing a safety belt because, well, I'm not going to get in an accident. Which leads me to a different story about my brother Greg, which I've probably told 100 times by now. But basically, he didn't like to buckle up. He never really seen the point of it. I kept telling him, you don't buckle up because, you know, because, like, 999 times out of 1,000, let's just say, or 9,999 times out of 1,000, you're going to buckle up. You're going to drive from here to your job. You're going to drive from here to the other side of the country, you know. You drive here down the street, you know, short distance, long distance, doesn't matter. There's a possibility at any given time, either you're going to lose control of your car, something's unknown's going to happen, or some drunk driver or some idiot's not paying attention is going to run into you. And you're going to get in an accident, and the accident could be as simple as, oh, well, I kind of dented your bumper. It didn't really do any major damage to your car, my car, it's okay. Down to straight up, I swerved off the side of the road to avoid getting in an accident, and I hit a tree. And, you know, there's a lot of factors in there, like how fast were you going? But, you know, you can go, you're going too fast, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, safety belt or not. You're probably going to die just from the whiplash or what have you. You know, because that always brings in the, I'll just drive slower point. But a lot of times people just don't see, and I see it all the time. I see it when I sometimes drive my coworkers to and fro. They just don't seem to see the point of buckling up because, well, we're not going to get in an accident. Fair. I mean, like I said, you're going to be right 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100. You know, 9,999 times out of 1,000. The percentages are always in your favor, provided the person that's driving isn't driving like an idiot. Now they start driving fast, maybe you feel unsafe, you start buckling up. I get that. But that's always been my big thing. Like, I understand buckling is annoying. It's an extra step that you don't need to do, and again, percentage-wise, it doesn't really make much of a difference if you buckle up or you don't buckle up. But that one time when you need to be buckled up is the difference between, you know, you living or dying, or you not being injured and walking away from it perfectly intact, and you having to go to the hospital for a concussion, or heaven forbid, like I said, you die because you get thrown out the windshield, or you end up in a wheelchair for the rest of your life because of damage that's dealt to your neck, you know, head and neck region. You know? I mean, like, what? It's not kind of a life that anyone wants to live, obviously. I don't know. I've always been Mr. Safety Child, though, so maybe that's just my personality, you know. I want to be the person who's, you know, want to live a long and healthy and prosperous life. You know, I don't want to sit on the couch and watch daytime television for the rest of my life. I don't want to have trouble getting up and going to the bathroom, wiping my ass, breathing. You know, it just, It's sad to see that happen. You know, to someone so young to be cut off. You know, in what is often called the prime of your life. You know, you're 18, you're fully an adult, but you're not. You're not. My mom always tells me that the male, at least because the males develop later than females, your brain is not, as a male, is not fully developed till you hit your mid-20s. So you still act, in many cases, like a child, where you make foolish decisions that don't really make a lot of sense to someone who has more experience because your brain isn't fully developed yet. I don't know.